What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, I just want to talk about some stuff that I've been doing over the last almost month or so and what I've been doing, how I've kind of changed my studies and things like that. If you've ever watched this channel, you know that predominantly when I learn via immersion methods, whether it be a little bit of reading or, of course, the whole sentence mining thing, which I get into and get out of. Now, in the past, I used to be very pro incomprehensible input. Not that I was pro incomprehensible, but just the idea of any kind of input was great. And while I still think that any kind of listening is better than no listening, over the last month, I've shifted my focus to where I'm talking like 80 or 90% of the time, watching and listening to comprehensible input. And I know that can be tough to start out because what's comprehensible if you don't know a language? But both in Japanese and Spanish, I have enough of a vocabulary base to where generally any kind of beginner stuff, sometimes intermediate, more so in Spanish than Japanese, is comprehensible to where I can understand what is going on, pick up some words that I don't know, and enjoy the content. And it's not, I don't have to have subtitles or anything. And so over the last month where I've shifted my focus to that, things have kind of started to become more clear as far as what I'm doing and how this is helping and what I think the importance of comprehensible input is to me. Because when I'm watching things in Japanese or Spanish, it's a little bit easier in Spanish than it is in Japanese. But generally, when I'm watching this stuff, I don't have to translate in my head what is being said. Spanish, a lot more so than Japanese. Almost everything I've watched in Spanish over the last, since around January the 18th or so, from where it's been comprehensible, has actually just been me watching Spanish without it. I just understand what's going on. And if a word comes up, I would say 40 or 50% of the time, maybe even more than that, I just understand it in context, which actually makes the word stick better in my brain than if I were to say, I know all these words, or I know some of these words, but let's look a couple up and then, oh, okay, this means this or this means that. And so there's a lot of examples of that I have in both languages where learning something via seeing what's happening and learning the word in context, it has made vocabulary stick a whole lot more. And the other huge thing that I'm noticing right now is that when you are doing passive listening or I don't do a lot of passive listening. I don't do a lot of like, well, I'm just going to turn it on just to turn it on, and then I'm going to count that towards my hours or something like that. I don't do that. But what I've noticed is that when you're listening to comprehensible stuff that you've already watched and stuff that you're already understanding a high rate of, passive listening becomes a lot more active because you just understand it. And it's harder to shut that out because you understand it. Even if you can barely hear it, but you understand it, your ears start to gravitate. Basically, almost the whole last month, my listening has been strictly all comprehensible stuff that I understand 80 or 90%. Some stuff I understand 100%. There's some stuff that I've watched that I've 100% understood everything that's going on. When I listen to that, I know what it is. It's no longer, I can't make it passive because I understand it. And that's a pretty crazy feeling. There's channels like this for everything. In Japanese, there's literally a channel called Comprehensible Japanese. It's ran by a woman who actually runs it a lot like Dreaming Spanish does for Spanish, where she has a board, she draws out the stories. And that's kind of the thing. Like, it's not necessarily learning material. It's not, here's how you conjugate this, here's how you do this. It's a native speaker telling you stories and allowing you to get better via story. And if you don't like the video, click off of it. Don't watch things that, don't entertain you. Last night, I found myself watching a 30-minute video on math, on like a puzzle in Spanish, because I generally am interested in that kind of stuff. So most of these channels, if they're doing that kind of thing, they will tell you in-depth stories, but they'll just break the language down to a lot easier level to where you can understand. And this has made language learning for me so much more fun, so much more bearable. I look forward to doing it, and it doesn't feel like a hassle. So just getting hours in of whatever I'm feeling that day. I set a goal of doing 1,000 hours in Japanese this year, and I still plan on doing that. Another goal that I had set for myself, I never really mentioned on this channel, but was to just make my Spanish listening a little bit better. And I can watch a lot of stuff and understand a pretty solid amount, but that's kind of the area that I struggle in, is my listening. And so I just said, hey, it's not going to get better unless you do something about it. And so that's what I've been doing. So this is nothing new, right? Like, don't like, this is not anything groundbreaking. Comprehensible input, the idea has been around for a long time. For me, like I said, I used to be in this camp, and if you watch my channel, like I said, it's I've always been pro input, or not always, but within the last few years, I've been really pro input. But man, I think shifting the focus, especially if you you can find stuff that you enjoy, that's kind of the very crucial thing, is as long as you're enjoying it. I guess it doesn't really matter, but you know, that's kind of the crucial thing. And if you can find that stuff that you enjoy, but it's comprehensible, especially in my Spanish, from where it's already a lot higher, and you would think it wouldn't be opposite because people talk about intermediate plateaus and stuff like that. But I've noticed that since switching to purely comprehensible input in both languages, but more so Spanish, that I'm picking up words at a much faster rate, and I can feel myself improving, even at kind of an intermediate stage in Spanish. And so I'm really happy right now. That's all I've been doing recently. Since my last video, I literally have just been input, just comprehensible. Just, I want to understand as much as I can. Even if it's something I understand 100% on, I won't watch it again per se, unless I really love the video, but it's just reinforcing the stuff that I already know. So it's giving me extra reps on these very common words. And it's got to the point, like I said, where there's a lot of stuff that I hear, there is no translation. I've internalized, I've acquired it, if you will. So that's what's happening with me. I just wanted to jump on here and kind of update you guys on what's happening. Let me know what you think down below. What kind of stuff do you do? This has kind of been a life changer for me. And I know that there's people going to be like, yeah, dude, why haven't you been doing that before? Listen, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm not the best language learner in the world, okay? I have to discover this stuff for myself, even with years and years and years and years and years of people preaching this kind of stuff. So just bear with me. I'm a little slow on the draw with things like this, but I'm enjoying myself, and that is what I'm going for this year. I hope everyone out there, I hope your studies are going okay. Like I said, let me know down below what you think or what you're doing, or it doesn't even have to be related to that. Just let me know how your studies are going. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.